So let's have class student, and then I have three methods. Let's say get first name, set first name fn, let's say self dot first name equal to self dot first name equal to fn def. Then I have method which says def get last name, get first name, set and get. To get it, I'm just printing the value. So self dot first name. Similarly, I have get define set last name. Self dot last name. For setting the last name, I will receive one value here. Let's say Ellen, and I'm basically having this self dot last name equal to Ellen. Then I want to get the value, so self dot set name, get last name, and just printing the value again for this. It's saying print self dot last name, and then let's say I'm having the value for the age, so let's just set age, and I'm basically setting the value as self dot age equal to age, and then I'm just again get age method to just print the value, print self dot get it. So this student class, which I have basically three methods to set the three properties and three methods to get the properties. Can I create object of it? Yes, I can create on this object. Now this object is blank. Until unless you don't call these methods, no properties is going to set, right? So you call the method Amol dot first name, set age, set first age, set first name, then Amol dot set last name, and Amol dot set. Okay, then similarly to get the values, you have Amol dot get age, then Amol dot get last name, and Amol dot get age, not get first name, last name, and age, first name. So if you right click and run, you will see the values are getting printed. Dot first name. Okay. Amol dot get first name. I click, then so, so it says line number 22,
Can
22 Amol dot
specify
set
past
first
self
name.
there.
Okay. Yeah, correct. Dot age equal to age. Yeah. So you set the value and you get the value. Okay. Now set same methods. Now let's say this. Now I'm defining another class. Let's say class teacher. And class teacher is basically having all these methods. I'm just copy pasting this. First I will cut, then paste this, and then I will copy paste the code. See this, lot of repetition. Let's say I copy pasted this and I add another two methods like set the set salary, sal sl sl dot salary, and dot salary equal to salary. Def get salary, variant get salary, dot get salary. So this teacher class has the same methods plus one additional, right? Obviously we can again create the object of it, right? And again you can get retrieve, get the set the value and get the value. Let me just copy paste so I can save the time again. So this is what we created the object. That's why. Next time, let's say this time we create the object of, we just create the object of, instead of student we create the object of teacher, and we should be having one additional which is set salary, and I set the salary to 1000, and I can also retrieve the salary, so get salary. The problem with this code is that the student class and the code written in the teacher class is very repetitive, right? So here comes the concept of inheritance, that I don't want to repeat the code. Okay, so deliberately I'm taking new file for this just to explain you. So let's say day 13 or 12b you can say. Now what I will do, I will just short this code. So how can you short this code? Let's say for example you have the student code as it is, right? So we just copy pasting this code. So we have the student code as it is, so I'm copy pasting this in 12b. And what I'm doing for the teacher, I'm not writing the same code which I need for the teacher. Instead, I will basically take it from student. So I will say teacher and I will inherit. So this is inheritance. In open and close braces, you need to pass the class name. So whatever methods available on the teach student, which are these 6 methods, will be also available on the teacher reference variable. So let's say I have just written pass over here. So parent is having 6 properties, child is not having any property. I am creating the object of child. Let's say amount equal to teacher. So you say amount equal to teacher. Now on the amount reference variable, which is teacher object, I can simply access the properties of parent student. How come? Because of inheritance, and this is inheritance. You need to pass the class name. Who is teacher? Child. Who is student? Parent. And I can access these properties. Set age. Set first name. Set last name. Only dot. Now set age, set first name, set last name. And similarly, we can get it. Though my teacher class does not have any of the methods, still I am able to access this method because of inheritance. What is inheritance? On the child reference variable, we can access the properties and method of the parent class. We can also access the get method. So amol dot get set get age, amol t dot get age dot get last name, print amol t dot get first name. This is not required because they are not returning any value. So directly you can print it instead of wrapping it with the print method. Right click and run. I'm getting the output. Now this is the first case where the child is not having any properties. Still, the child can access the properties and methods of parent. Let's say program 2. Program 2 is where the child will be having the, this is program 2. Let's say. In program 2, let's say the child is also having properties. Now let's say I'm also adding property to teacher. Let's say teacher def set salary, and I'm passing the value of salary to BSL. SL dot salary equal to SL, and here I'm saying def get salary. Print SL dot salary. Now in such scenarios, let's say for example, still I can access the properties of the parent, which I am able to access here, setting the, I can also get the values. I can also see I'm creating the object of teacher. Still I'm able to access the properties methods of the student class because of inheritance, as well as on the teacher reference variable I can access its own methods also. So I can say a multi dot set salary, and I'm setting salary 2000, and let's say here I'm coming and basically getting the salary value. So get salary. If I right click and run this, I will be getting the output. So these are the cases without constructor, right? Just give me 1 minute of break. I will have the water. Let's say now we tried this examples with the constructor. Okay, we are not tried with the constructor. Now let's say I am again defining one class. Let's say person. The person is basically having df underscore underscore. I'm setting the values, basically having two properties, first name and last name. And I'm setting this property like self dot first name, self dot first name equal to fn, set dot self dot last name equal to ln, and I'm having one method which is display name, display full name. And to this display full name, I'm just printing the first name and last name. So self, if I have print self dot first name plus self dot last name. Similarly, I'm creating another class professor. Professor will also have the first name and the last name. So I'm I'm inheriting, yeah, it with the person. Now parent is having constructor and child is only having one property, which is hard coded. Or child is not having any property. Let's say, for example, now, can I create the object of professor? Yes, I can create the object of professor. Though I'm creating the object of professor and professor does not have any what you say constructor, still I need to pass the values to the parent constructor because there is inheritance. So I need to send these values to the professor reference variable. Here the parent is person, professor is child. Still I need to pass this value. Okay. And it's a Amol P dot display name, and I can basically access the property on child reference variable. I can still access the method properties and method of parent class. This is because of inheritance. Right click and then this is the first case. Okay, let's say this is the program 3, I think so. Second case is, let's say I'm taking one more case where I'm basically adding property and method to a child, but hard-coded values only. So with comment this, copy this and just paste this. So this time, let's say I am having properties. So I say here salary and equal to 10,000, let's say. So let's say I'm having salary and the value is 10,000. And I have a method to display salary. So display salary. And I'm saying print cell dot salary. So now the parent is having properties as well as method. Child is also having property and method, but hard coded values. Can I access? Yes. Still I need to pass values for the parent constructor. I can access one more method which is display salary. Along with this, I can also access the property which is which is salary. So this is a very simple scenario where parent is having parenting having two properties and child is also having properties along with the method. And on the child reference variable, which is on the professor reference variable, I can access these two properties, first name, last name, along with this method as well as salary along with the display salary method. Let's say, for example, now my scenario will be both the parent is having constructor. The fourth scenario will be parent is having constructor as well as child is having constructor. Okay. So let's say person C. Let's say parent is having constructor So setting up the two values for the parent, let's say first name, comma last name, and you can simply say self dot first name equal to fn and self dot last name equal to ln, and you said df display name print self dot first name plus self dot last name. The parent is having constructor, and from here I am also creating class which is Professor C. Professor C is also having constructor. Professor C has a relationship with this, so I'm basically passing it here person C, and now also here also I'm having constructor. So when the parent is having constructor and child is having constructor also, then the first line of the child constructor, let's say I want to set the salary also dynamically, so I will be having here the third parameter. Now if parent is having constructor and child is also having constructor, the first line of the child constructor should be a call to parent constructor. And how you call it? You call it somewhat like this: underscore super underscore super dot underscore init underscore init or super dot underscore init super dot underscore init. So this is basically calling the parent constructor. So when you basically create the operand reference of means object of professor, you will be getting three values: two to set these values, one to set this value. Out of these three values, you are basically passing two values to the parent constructor. So super means the immediate parent. An immediate parent of this Professor C is person C, and I'm calling it constructor with the super keyword and passing it two values to set these properties. And then I will set its own property, which is salary. So self dot salary equal to salary. Any programming language, when the parent is having constructor, child is also having constructor, the first line of the parent constructor should be a call to first line of the child constructor should be a call to parent constructor. I can basically have the value here, set salary, and this salary will be again print self dot salary. Let's say I create it here Amol, and Amol p equal to, and I say we are creating the object of if Professor C. To this object we need to Professor C. To this object we need to pass three values. See, the constructor is having three values. So let's say you have first name as Amol C, Rao C as second, and then you basically have the salary which is 10,000. And what you can do here on this Amol P reference variable, these three values will be received here. Out of these three values, two will be going to the parent. So parent will set these two properties. Then it will come and outside and set this property. So now this Amul P will basically has the three properties. Which three properties? First name, print Amul P will be having last name, and the third one which will be salary. Similarly, I can basically have set salary. Sorry, I can simply call display full name. On Amul P I can call display full name, display name, and on Amul P I can call display. So, which method I should be writing? It's not set salary, it should be display salary. Display salary, and I should be basically calling out display salary. So if you right click and run, you can. So take away from this program was 106, 106. I'm having problem. Okay. So takeaway from this program was that if the parent is having constructor and the child is also having constructor, the first line of the child constructor should be a parent call to parent constructor. Right click and run. Again, I'm having errors. Requires a super, and which is on line number 117. I think it's a syntax error. I need to write like this, I guess. Let me try again. Yes, it should be super dot underscore underscore in it. Okay. You want to write this much or should I continue with the programs? It's 4, 3. I'm audible?